Thank you, Chris. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Vaduz in the tiny country of Liechtenstein, with a population smaller than the capacity of the Principality Stadium. The teams on the field, either side of the halfway line, on their feet. Wales in the white tracksuit tops, high on the young Rhine, to the same tune as God Save the King, but it's drowned out instantly by the travelling red wall for the penultimate match day in Group J. Wales cannot afford any mistakes. They need a win, and they need a big win to make things easier for themselves with that showdown against North Macedonia in Cardiff on Tuesday. The team now take off their white tracksuit tops to reveal the change kit, which is yellow with the green trim. They'll pose for their photograph in front of the tunnel, which is opposite to where we are. The benches are on this near side. Craig Bellamy is somewhere in that main stand on the other side of the ground, suspended after 2 yellow cards, just like his star attacker Harry Wilson. Wales making 4 changes against the minnows Liechtenstein, 206th in the world. They need to get the job done to set up that grandstand night. If you weren't with us earlier, this is the Wales team. Darlow in goal, Williams, Lawler, Roden and De Silva. Then Thomas, Ampadu, Jordan James and Dan James, Nathan Broadhead and Mark Harris up front. Liechtenstein have lost 33 of their last 34 qualifiers, scoring just 3 times and conceding 95 goals. Just 6 will do for Wales to give them a great chance of second spot. They're in the huddle at the moment. The yellow shirts now emerge. It is a takeover of the Rhine Park Stadion. At least 3,000 have made the journey. They've travelled into Switzerland, into Austria and to Germany. And now we are here in Vaduz, the capital of Liechtenstein, on the banks of the River Rhine, which is the border with Switzerland. Sorba Thomas with the pink boots, the rolled down socks, gets the game underway. Wales going from left to right in this first half under a completely dark sky in this picturesque location in a valley surrounded by mountains. The thud is the ball being cleared out for a throw in front of us. We've got the Vaduz castle on the hill illuminated from the darkness, and Wales in possession in the early moments. Liechtenstein in the blue shirts, red shorts and the blue socks. We were told that we're going to play with 3 at the back. It's a back 5, a low block as Wales get the ball down with Thomas into Jordan James midway inside the Liechtenstein half. An early goal will be just what the doctor ordered. It's Liechtenstein who clear, and it's blocked and it's out of play for a Liechtenstein throw. We have played 60 seconds. It is 0-0. What about this for a backing, Nathan Blake? If this is an away game, it doesn't feel like it.
My son, just text my son at home. He said to say it's like a home match. It's ridiculous. I think you mentioned it earlier, Mark. There's the one stand opposite us, the main stand, and to the left of that there's a few Liechtenstein supporters, but the rest of the stadium is full of Welsh fans. Pretty incredible.
3 stands are red, and in the corner, in the stand across from us, just underneath where the castle is, there's another pocket of red shirts. Wales in yellow and on the ball. And this is Dylan Lawler, winning only his 2nd cap. And Roden with the tattooed forearms, unmistakable figure at the heart of that Wales defence.
Yeah, what they're going to have to do, Wales, is move the ball quickly this evening, Mark. It's when it's slowed down and too many touches, when teams are able to get into position.
This is Dan James scuttling backwards. Everyone apart from the front 2 for the blue-shirted Liechtenstein players are behind the ball in these early moments. Thomas over the top looking for the run of Williams, and it carries through to the goalkeeper Benjamin Buchel, who is Liechtenstein's now, with tonight's 79th cap. He moves into the top 8 of their all-time capped players. This is De Silva in the centre circle. It is 0-0. You are listening to BBC Radio Wales. We are live on FM, DAB, digital television, and the BBC Sounds app, as well as 5 Sports Extra. As Thomas comes forward, it's scuffed high midway in the Liechtenstein half. Dan James has to go backwards. And this is Lawler. And now Ampadu wearing the captain's armband for the first time in a qualifier. He has the ball again. He's neat and tidy to get it out to De Silva wide on the far left, in front of yet more Welsh flags that are hung over every sort of fence or advertising hoarding in this ground, which holds just over 7,000, and that's slid through to Mark Harris on the byline, clips it to the back post. Keeper gets one hand to it and he's scrambling across. He still hasn't got it, and he's rolling around on the floor before he eventually clutches it to his chest. Buchel, a lucky man there.
Yeah, rolling around the floor indeed, Mark. He's done really well to get it in the end, but he's under some pressure and he's come for the ball and managed to put a hand on it and then sort of tried to knock it down to himself. I just couldn't get hold of it. It's like a bar of soap for a moment there.
Well, it's a dry night. We haven't had any of the rain since we've been here. Lovely and sunny and mild. There's a bit of a chill in the air as night is now very much upon us. The floodlights shining like beacons, and the players have 4 shadows on the field, and this is Joe Rodon out to De Silva. Wales dominating the early possession as we would have expected them to. Sorba Thomas wide on the far left. They're being patient and probing at the moment. Liechtenstein packing nearly everyone behind the ball. They've gone from the far left to the near right. It's into the penalty area, almost breaks between the front 2. In fact, there's an offside flag against it. It was either Broadhead
I think
or
it was
Harris.
Broadhead. He was just behind Harris. The ball's fired into Harris. He lets it go. He almost gives it the old Matrix. Dodges the ball, and Broadhead's no chance of controlling that, really and truly. He's only like 2 yards behind him. But what I'd like to see, like, I'm just watching De Silva. The ball has come to him about 5 or 6 times in this opening sort of 5 minutes, and only the last time he had to touch the ball in the halfway was the first time he looked at Sorba Thomas. Now I know they've probably been coached to keep the ball and keep possession, what have you, but against this type of opposition, you're going to sit in deep. You just never know what's open ahead of you, and if you've not opened your touch up, opened yourself up to look forward, you're just thinking every time it comes to me, I'm just going to roll it back to the defender. You might miss opportunities, so play what you see rather than, this methodical, we're going to just play our way into the game and then take our opportunities when they come. You've got to create them, and sometimes it might be in the first minute or two.
In the Autumn International Rugby, England have beaten New Zealand at Twickenham 33-19. You want to listen to the build-up and kick-off for Wales against Japan at the Principality Stadium. It's on Radio Wales Extra. It's on Radio Wales 882 on medium wave, and 5 Sports Extra 2, as well as online via the BBC Sport Wales website. This is a Wales free kick which they take quickly. It is goalless in Vaduz. Liechtenstein are the only nation to have ever lost a competitive match to San Marino. There are only 4 nations in the entire world ranked lower than they are currently. And they've barely been in Wales's half, and the game is 6 minutes old. Already today in Wales's group, Kazakhstan held Belgium to a 1-1 draw. It means mathematically Wales and North Macedonia can still win the group, but in reality it's all over bar the shouting as far as that one automatic place for the World Cup next year, because Belgium's final opponents at home are Liechtenstein. As Wales clip it forward looking for Dan James. He's managed to pluck it out of the sky into the box, flicked up by Harris towards the back post, and the defender, the captain in fact no less, Nicholas Hassler, tucks it behind for the first corner.
Yeah, you can see what Wales are trying to do. They've got the ball in this deeper position on the halfway line. Got Nico Williams pushed right in like an inside right forward. And then either Nico or Dan James going to make the run as Dan James did there. And the right hand side, lovely touch to pluck it out the air and put the cross in.
Mr. Silva, who will take it from the far left, is drilled. And they need to go back to the training ground because that was nowhere near anyone. And there's a bit of a swirl of wind in the air as well. Wales still have it with Broadhead, the yellow socks pulled up over the knees. Out to Jordan James, another one of that ilk. Infield to Broadhead, who's spinning, plays it out to Thomas, who's in space on the right. The cross is a really poor one, and it's passed straight out of play for a Wales throw, which they take quickly. It is goalless, just half a chance so far for Wales, clipped to the back post, and just as a yellow shirt was rushing in, Liechtenstein were able to tuck it behind for a corner. As predicted, Wales having all the possession, every blue-shirted Liechtenstein player behind the ball, no breakthrough at the moment. We have played 8 minutes, it is Liechtenstein 0, Wales 0. And this is Thomas, and he's lost it, trying to flick it down the line to Williams. Ampadu across, and Ampadu is one of those Wales players who is on a yellow card. A caution this evening would mean he would be suspended for that North Macedonia showdown. The others in the starting lineup are Joe Rodon and Jordan James.
Yeah, it's a game you'll see Ethan Marshall. I doubt he'll put his foot in unless it was absolutely necessary.
Ampadu in again, and again it's another throw in front of the two dugouts, which are beneath us. And Pete Cremers leading Wales from the sideline. We've yet to spy where Craig Bellamy is. I suspect he'll be in the stand across from us, as Liechtenstein have crept up the field on this near left. They're nearly towards the edge of the Wales penalty area with this throw, which will be taken by the number 3 Goppel.
Just threw it straight out for
threw it straight down the line. And it's a goal kick to Wales, which they take quickly. They haven't yet had quick ball. You said it right at the beginning. You've got to up the tempo to stretch this team. A lot of these players are part-timers. Some of them are students. They haven't done that yet, have they, Nathan Blake?
No, they've got to find tempo in their game. 1 touch, 2 touch, move the ball quickly. And I say, like, I know it's methodical and you're doing it, you know, slowly. This is how it's coached today. But I say sometimes you'll find a player out of position. Sorry, Mark.
This is Broadhead coming forward. Thomas has popped up now on the left. Now cuts inside, crosses. Powerful header away by the Liechtenstein defenders. De Silva back to Thomas on the left. Both wrists taped. And he's back to Rodon, who's the furthest Wales player back, and he's in the midway point of the Liechtenstein half. They try with James. He tries to tow it down the line. Williams did look offside, and the flag does go up from the orange-shirted Albanian officials. I'm not going to even attempt to say the referee's name. I don't want to do him a disservice. And it's 0-0. We've played nearly 11 minutes. I don't think the Liechtenstein keeper's had too much to do so far.
No. And that's probably the most disappointing thing. Apart from the cross, I think it's from Mark Harris, where he bumbled it a bit. There hasn't been much to talk about in this first 10 minutes.
De Silva trying to change that. A bit of space to jet into over the halfway line. Not a great pass back from Thomas, but Rodon was alert and alive. And this is Ampadu spinning on the halfway line with the captain's armband. And then Lawler plays it forward, but in hope rather than expectation, and it trickles behind for a goal kick. 2 giant colour scoreboards on top of the stands at either end, which are both packed full of Wales supporters. It's the first time really since the fans started filing in, the atmosphere's hit a bit of a lull. It's bouncing before the game with that playlist. Breaks to Broadhead on the edge of the box, and he did land up for a shot, deflects and spins into the air. Liechtenstein has scrambled it away not once but twice, and they've left their two strikers up to occupy Wales's defenders. Roden heads away, and that's Ampadu, and that's tidy. And there's applause from Pete Kremers down beneath us. Sorba Thomas shuffling on the left. Wales get up the field once more. This is Jordan James, Lawler, Dan James in space level with the edge of the penalty area on the right side, but they've not got in behind yet. Ampadu cuts in, tries to slide it past, but there's too many bodies in the way. And it's back out only as far as Ampadu. Liechtenstein are keeping themselves compact here in the early moments still. 13 minutes gone. Thomas goes round the outside, has to check his run. They're well organised, but if this is how the game is going to be played, it's going to be a long, tiring night for the Minnows. James gets in the cross, not a great one. Header clear. De Silva battles for it. And it's out of play for a Liechtenstein throw. They're huffing and puffing at the moment with no way through.
Sorry, Mark, it's clear to see, isn't it? Like you said, Liechtenstein back in position very quickly. It looked like we were going to get through when Liechtenstein came out, tried to press, won the ball, then lost the ball quickly, and people are then out of position. That's when I'm saying, like, don't slow it down at that point if you're Wales. Don't look to give the killer pass. Look for someone to run in behind when they're pulled out of position. And if you're not pulling them out of position by play, it's when they're in possession of the ball and the turnover happens, you'll find it out of position. That's when you've got to really go for the jugular.
It remains 0-0. 14 minutes on the colour scoreboard. Wales with 86% possession in those 14 minutes. I have to say it feels like more. It's been their exclusive property so far, but no shots on target for Craig Bellamy's men in yellow this evening as they look for James on the right. And he goes round the outside for the first time and he beats his man. Cross into the penalty area, the defender has to fly in. I think it's clear for a throw by the corner flag, but that's the first time he's gone round the outside rather than checked inside, and it almost paid dividends for Wales. They've taken the throw quickly. James to his Leeds teammate Ampadu, who checks and returns into traffic, and Liechtenstein clear for another throw in inside their own half.
So if you're Dan James now, that's what you do, right? Even if there's two men facing you, you just push the ball down the outside. If they give you that outside space, push the ball down the outside of both of them and you'll beat them both for pace. You just showed that.
He's up against Emmanuel Zund on that side. Here he challenges him once more, tries to play a 1-2. It's not a great pass, but if anyone can keep it in, he can, and he does. He hooks it high, and in fact he didn't. The assistance flag on the near side goes up. It wasn't a great pass back to him. I think it was Nico Williams who tried to play the 1-2, and it remains goalless. Wales remain frustrated after 15 minutes.
Yeah, Liechtenstein referees on the goalkeeper's case already, trying to slow things down, but they're not going to try and speed up the game, are they? That's the last thing they're going to do.
Just remember, in Cardiff it started this way. Wales scored in the final few minutes of the first half. They went on to win 3-0. But Liechtenstein are the only nation in European qualifying who haven't scored a goal. It's been a chastening experience for them, this Group J. Wales hoping to get second place, and with it a more favourable route in the playoffs. That's a good ball for Thomas inside the penalty area. He never really quite had it under control, and in fact he was offside. That flag was incredibly late.
So you see the key, how to get in, right? Both times down the outside of the defender, either ball played through and a winger running onto it, or the winger faced up by a defender or two and the winger beating them down the outside for pace and getting the ball across the box. To begin with, you just need to get yourself going to the point of getting the goal. to then, crush the confidence of Liechtenstein, because the longer it goes 0-0, and, as long as they can stay organised, then, it's not a problem for them. They're used to losing by 3, 4, 5 goals, but they're just thinking, okay, when does the first goal come? But the longer it doesn't come, the more confidence they'll gain.
It's stolen by Ampadu and kept in well. Harris holds it up midway in the Liechtenstein half. A nice bit of skill from Jordan James, turned a full 360 to get away. Crosses curling towards the back post, flicked clear by Hassler, the Liechtenstein captain, and a rare attack for the men in blue and red.
But if you're Wales,
halfway line.
If you're Wales, this is when you're you're most dangerous, because they're at their most vulnerable. They're coming out there. There's 4 or 5 men ahead of the ball. If you win it in that transition, that's when you really go. You don't put it wide or slow it down, or you go for the jugular. You run forward, commit defenders.
It's broken for Ampadu. It's a chance for Broadhead in that penalty area. John James shoots. It's beaten out by the goalkeeper, cleared behind. It was an attempted clearance from Liechtenstein, which was blocked by Wales, and it just wouldn't quite fall for Broadhead. But this is a corner, and this is a chance for them to break the deadlock. It's 0-0, but for how much longer? Yeah,
it looked like he could have taken the shot on with his right foot, Broadhead. Done really well with the block in the first instance. Was a little sort of Cruyffy kind of turn. Sets up Jordan James, hits it first time. Just can't find the corner, Jordan, but draws a save from the keeper. Wins a corner.
There must be about 13 at least or more Wales flags behind that goal to our right, where they're attacking in this first half. Now Jay De Silva will take this corner from this near right, headed into the sky by Liechtenstein. Thomas is underneath it not once but twice as he nods it back towards the edge of the penalty area. Attempted bit of skill by Mark Harris. He's still battling for the ball and he gets hold of it. Bodies rolling around on the floor after the ball had gone as play continues. This is Roden, De Silva. Now on the left it's Thomas. He's all in the Liechtenstein half as Wales look for a breakthrough. Realistically, they've got to win. If they win by 6, then they will hold most of the cards on the final day. And it comes to the penalty area. Harris flicks on, and they're in each other's way, the defenders and goalkeeper, and they get lucky because no one in yellow had gambled, so they're able to retrieve the error, and the keeper clutches the ball gleefully to his black chest.
Yeah, it's a really clever little ball, that. Lovely ball, wasn't it, from Dan James. Clever. It's a little clip cross. But no one was following it up, Mark.
But the lack of atmosphere in the background will tell you it's been hard work so far for Wales to even fashion a chance. This is De Silva. Now it's with Swilber Thomas wide on the left, faced by 2 blue shirts. And he just runs into them. Cleared out for a throw. It will go to Liechtenstein's way. So you've heard from Nathan Blake alongside me in the stadium. Danny Gabardon is watching back in Cardiff. What have you made, Danny, of the opening 20 minutes?
I think patience is the key, guys. 20 minutes gone, we've dominated possession. You look at Liechtenstein, and any time we lose the ball and they get it back, they're not really capable of putting more than 2 or 3 passes together. We know we've controlled possession well, but I think we just got to be patient and stick to the game plan. It might be where the opposition tires and then suddenly we get a goal with a bit more space or from a set piece, but we just got to keep moving the ball quickly. As Blakey said, I think those runners in behind are still important. I think, when you're playing against teams like this who are sitting in...
Broadhead, transfer Wales, round the goalkeeper, and he's put it over the bar. What a chance for Wales, the clearest one so far, over the top. Broadhead was onto it. It was a bouncing ball, but he went past the goalkeeper, and with the goal at his mercy, he's put it into the fans rather than the red and white striped empty net. That, Nathan Blake, should be 1-0.
Yeah, it's a lovely little clip pass from Jordan James. Good run as well from Broadhead. Rounds the keeper. You'd say slightly a different angle, but a player of his quality should be finding the back of the net there. Great opportunity.
The patience, Danny Gabbidon, was almost rewarded as you were speaking.
It certainly was, and the running behind, which I was speaking about. It's very easy to kind of have too many players kind of going towards the ball when you've got teams sat this deep. So you need those runners in behind, whether it's the wide men, Broadhead, as you saw there, did the hard work there, didn't he? Getting the ball down around the keeper and just a little bit off balance, lacking a little bit of composure with the finish. But that's how we kind of get in against the back five. You need those kind of runners in behind.
It's 22 minutes gone. It is Liechtenstein 0, Wales 0. This is Jordan James. Sorba Thomas crosses. It's a really good ball and it's flicked behind for a goal kick. Another teasing pass, and has the pace been upped in the last couple of minutes? Two decent opportunities. Dan James with a great ball before it. That was almost on the money from Sorba Thomas.
Yeah, he does that so well. And if you get runners and he misses the first man and the second man, if he can aim to put it in and around that penalty spot, around the 6-yard line, middle of the goal, and Wales have 2 or 3 runners on top of the centre forwards, then they should have 5 or 6 in the box each time, looking to get on the end of something.
They're attacking once more. James, one-on-one with Zun, comes inside, goes round. It's Williams who's spinning and turning and winning another corner. And those fans in front of us will applaud. This stadium has got 4 almost identical rectangle box-like stands. A roof perched on a couple of pylons. There's no escaping the wind, and because the valley and the mountains that surround it, it can be a bit of a wind tunnel. It was really blustery here yesterday for Craig Bellamy's matchday -1 press conference. And now Thomas will float this one high towards the back post. Free header for Lawler. It's across the face of goal. The keeper's got nowhere near it. Broadhead scores! Wales make the breakthrough. He should have scored a few moments ago, and now he has. 2-2 for Wales. And they take the lead in Vaduz. It's Liechtenstein 0, Wales 1.
Yeah, good finish as well by Nathan. Ball comes in from the corner. There's a bit of a melee. He just steps back, steps away from the ball. Ball lands at him. Right foot, it just drills it low. Centre of the goal. Keeper no chance. Really good finish that.
Nathan Broadhead scores his 4th goal for his country. Headed back across goal, fumbled by the defenders, and he really couldn't miss. Nathan Broadhead. The patience pays off, Danny Gabbidon.
It certainly does, and I mentioned, as I said, you know, it might be a set piece as well. Set pieces are so important in games like this where maybe it's not quite happening from open play yet, so you get the opportunity to put a ball into the box. You've got to make sure it goes in with quality, which Sorba Thomas 9 times out of 10 does. And you know, we've seen a couple of occasions Bouchel, he doesn't look great under the kind of the high ball, doesn't do enough there with a punch, and Nathan Broadhead there could have shown a bit of disappointment off the back of missing that chance, but really focused on that opportunity and finishes it really well. So yeah, brilliant goal from our kind of standpoint, and hopefully maybe the game will open up a little bit more for us and we can go on and get 5 more, boys.
Well, hang on, there's a
Easy.
VAR check.
What's going on here?
It's not officially a goal at the moment. We haven't restarted. All we have on the giant colour scoreboards is a big red square with VAR. Referee hasn't been asked to go to the screen yet. They're clearly checking whether there was a foul on the goalkeeper, because he had to come through the crowd to get a feeble punch, and he's just blown the whistle square in the air, and now he runs across to this near touchline to the corner in the left to look at the VAR monitor. We are not seeing what he is seeing on our screen. We are. Wales think they've scored. Nathan Broadhead has volleyed it past the goalkeeper, but there is a VAR check going on here. We're watching the keeper trying to punch it off the heads of 3 Wales shirts. I'm not really sure what the infringement is. They've sent the referee to the screen in the corner. They're checking, I think, for offside, because as Lawler heads it across goal, there's two Welsh players who are potentially offside, and it has been ruled out. It does not count. It remains goalless in Vaduz, and you can hear what the invasion of Wales supporters think about it. It is Liechtenstein 0, Wales 0.
Yeah, I mean, you can't argue with offside. If it's offside, it's offside. I thought it was, if it was a foul on the keeper, when the keeper was coming for the cross, and in fact, it was him who probably committed the foul, but yeah, two Welsh players stood in offside position as the ball came in.
Danny, correct decision or not?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's still a Lawler there, heads the ball back across. I think maybe it was Joe Roden who was just slightly offside. He challenges the goalkeeper. I'm not actually sure if it comes off Joe's head and drops down to Broadhead, but he does kind of make a play for the ball as it comes across in that challenge with the goalkeeper. So yeah, I don't think we can have any complaints with that one.
It's 0-0. Those fans around us who are booing have not seen the pictures that we have seen. They were offside only slightly, but they'll search for any toenail out of place these days now with the technology. Wales still searching for the breakthrough. It's a Liechtenstein attack. This is the furthest they've been forward in the whole game. And they might actually get into the penalty area, but De Silva is back. It's a rather hurried clearance by Roden, and the shot from distance is comfortably behind for a goal kick. We have now some breaking news out of Newport County. Dave Hughes, I've just been told, has left his position as Newport County manager. The Exiles were beaten 1-0 at Shrewsbury this afternoon. We'll have more on that at half-time, or you can go on the BBC Sport Wales website now to read more about that breaking news story. Dave Hughes, the Newport County manager, has left his position with the Exiles 4 points adrift at the bottom of League Two. We'll no doubt speak to Nathan Blake and Danny Gabardon about that situation as the evening progresses. But we're up to nearly half an hour, and in front of us here in Vaduz, this picturesque part of the world, Nathan Blake described it as the sound of music earlier, with the hills and the snow-covered mountains. Surely that's an offside as Liechtenstein come forward, and the flag, of course, has to stay down, and then it goes up very late.
Stupid rule, isn't it? It's the most annoying rule in football, that. It won't be until someone gets really injured on it, they'll change it.
It's 0-0. You are listening to BBC Radio Wales. It's an international double-header today. Wales against Japan in the Rugby Principality Stadium is starting in about 9 minutes or so. If you want to listen to that, retune to 882 on medium wave, or you can listen via Radio Wales Extra or 5 Sports Extra 2. We're here on BBC Radio Wales, FM, DAB, digital television, and the BBC Sounds app as well as 5 Sports Extra. And Wales are being frustrated so far after half an hour. They've got the ball though with Lawler, one of so many impressive Cardiff City youngsters in this squad. And Nico Williams is sent tumbling. He's done ever so well to regain his footing and keep hold of the ball in front of us.
He always does.
Not sure he knew how he did that himself.
He in every situation.
Seemed all the world he was on the floor. Next thing you know, he's cartwheeling and spinning.
Yeah, he comes at the other side of the ball. He always does it.
And this is Lawler once more in front of us. James on the near right down the line. Williams has appeared. And it's out of play for a Liechtenstein throw by the corner flag. If you've only just tuned into us, Wales have had the ball in the net. Nathan Broadhead's goal ruled out by VAR for the slightest of offsides, but it was offside. As we look under the completely dark skies, we can see one or two lights of the houses on top of the hills that surround us. And Liechtenstein creep up the field. And they're in no hurry to take the throw. It's very, very slow and deliberate from the hosts, and that's a decent ball to find Hasler, the captain. They're trying to keep hold of it, but Jordan James is going to pick the pocket, or so we thought. Battling back is Lunschinger. And now we'll break for Thomas, and now, having lost the ball in broken play, there might be space for Thomas to attack and drive and fly past his man on the far side. Crossover is beaten out by the first man. James spins, Jordan James that is, on the corner of the penalty area. Now it's Ampadu, and he's got a stretch to get there and doesn't. And now it's Liechtenstein's turn to get over the halfway line. But Luque Notaro is never going to beat Rodin in a foot race there. And now Wales try again to pick the lock and find the combination. Williams asking a lot of James. He's surely taken out late. And it's a Wales free kick just outside the penalty area on this near right side.
Yeah, that's what happens with Dan James. Defender thinks he's going to get there. And then Dan's pace, electric, over 5 yards, over 50 yards, doesn't matter. And he just puts the rocket burners on, gets there before the defender, causes the defender just clip him on his right foot as he's trying to get there. A good situation for Wales this, just outside the 18-yard box on the right.
He's hobbling away from that one, Dan James. We saw the slow-mo replay. There was contact, it didn't look that nasty, but he's really wincing as he walks back into play on the edge of the penalty area. No treatment required.
Yeah, it's a lovely space to put the ball into and for anyone to run across to that near post area.
De Silva, but it's actually Thomas with the outswinger, thinks the keeper can punch it, and this time he actually does commandingly. Back to Nico Williams on the edge of the centre circle. Still inside the Liechtenstein half. It is still 0-0, and there are 11 minutes left of the first half. Wales battling for second spot in Group J with their opponents on the final day, North Macedonia, on Tuesday. Second spot would mean one of those seeded places or higher seeded places, a more favourable playoff draw, a home semi-final. If they finish third, they'll be away in those semi-finals, and they'll have a really difficult tie too. It's curled into the penalty area, flicked away, collected by James. And he does well to tuck it round the corner. Williams clips in the cross, couldn't quite strain in the back post. It's out to Ampadu, didn't hit it first time, had to shift it back onto his left, and then he slices it high into that sea of red-shirted fans behind the goal to our right.
Yeah, you can see what he's trying to do, Ethan. Ball came out in shape to shoot, as you said, Mark. Just dragged it across his body from right to left, and then hits it, but just slices it. It's just a bit off balance when he hits it.
We're about to get underway in the rugby in Cardiff. Radio Wales Extra or 882 on medium wave for that one. Don't forget, here in Vaduz we're also on the BBC Sounds app, so if you download that to your smartphone or tablet, you can take us out and about whatever you're doing this Saturday night. It is a Saturday night. We don't see too many internationals played on a Saturday anymore. Next up on Tuesday, another game live on BBC Radio Wales, the showdown with North Macedonia. Could it be another big night under the lights in Cardiff for Wales? And Craig Bellamy will be back on the touchline. This is Dan James trying to get it round the corner. It's cleared by Liechtenstein. He's suspended in the stands across from us, and actually the only other time Wales have been here, which was October 2009, they won 2-0. Craig Bellamy didn't play because he was suspended. Lightning strikes twice. I know I've got a zinger when Nathan Blake does that little chuckle that you may have heard in the background. This is Jordan James for Wales as they try and find a way through before half-time. They've had all of the ball, we knew they would, but only Nathan Broadhead's disallowed goal to show for it. James is one-on-one with his man. Another blue shirt comes across to try and repel the Leeds winger. It's really loose by Liechtenstein, and the manager scowls at the rather lazy chest clearance It's James. It's Broadhead who brings it down. It was not a great pass. And as he tries to cross it, it deflects behind for another Wales corner. It's Jay De Silva who motors across to this near side. It's left by Broadhead. So the man playing such a large part in Coventry's fantastic start to the season will take it. Sky Blues 5 points clear at the top of the championship. Broadhead goes to stand in the 6-yard box. 2 yellow shirts in front of the keeper, everyone else running in. Here they come now. Punched away by the man in black. There's a clash of heads on the edge of the penalty area. The referee's got to stop the game. I don't think he's seen it. Now he has. That looked a nasty one as Ampadu just turned into the defender and took a hefty whack. He's down in the D on the edge of the Liechtenstein penalty area. It's 0-0. Nathan Blake.
Yeah, I think he's saying he's okay, thankfully. Yeah, it's not so much. He's kind of caught him with his shoulder. The Liechtenstein, oh yeah, and he sort of, it's not a full-on, thankfully. Side on, still nasty. Glad there's no blood there. But Ethan's up without any sort of treatment, so we play on.
That's Nathan alongside me in this little hut that we're in. We're getting to know each other a lot better. We are super glued almost together. Danny Gabidon is back in the warmth of the studio in Cardiff. What are you making of how Wales have reacted to that disallowed goal, Danny?
Very much the same, really. You know, we're just having so much possession in we guys, and you know, I think it's like I said, it's just about continuing to try and do the right things, not getting frustrated, obviously, by that goal being disallowed, and you know, continue to work with the same patterns and moving that ball quickly, getting bodies into the box here. When you see the ball go into the box, we've had good numbers attacking the ball. We just haven't had that kind of little break that we're kind of looking for. So look, if we can nick a goal here just before half time, obviously it will benefit us massively, and we feel a lot more positive about the second half. But yeah, just got to keep continuing doing what we're doing, really, and just hope that the chances will come.
John James thinks about a shot. It takes a deflection. Keeper's parried it. Broadhead gets it stuck under his feet, and the blue shirts pounce on the loose ball. And there's a Liechtenstein player down now in the penalty area. The keeper came and made a real meal of it. And Nathan Broadhead is a little bit unfortunate. He just couldn't get out of his feet to shoot into the empty net, Nathan.
Absolutely. And then when it went behind him, he couldn't set anybody up. But the keeper's, let's say, dodgy is kind. Right, because every time the ball's come anywhere near him, he's either parried it, slapped it. It just hasn't kept hold of the ball. Right from the first cross, he was, like I said, it was like a bar of soap. So it's clearly a problem for them. So if you're Wales, you just keep putting balls into the box. And if you're the striker or the strikers, you know, one of you go and challenge him, the other one, you know, just stay around him. Wait for any knockdowns, any rebounds, because he's clearly not great with his hands.
Now there's treatment for Emmanuel Zund, who now has to leave the field. You may have heard the magic spray being applied. It was around about this time that Wales broke through in June in Cardiff against the same opponents. And we'll restart with the throw. And it's Wales in possession. Can they break the deadlock before half-time? This is Williams, again for Wales in the yellow shirts with the green trim. Dan James goes inside, it's not a great pass, and there's Nico Williams squirming his way out of trouble once more. Dan James pulls it across, and it's Liechtenstein's turn with the despairing lunge to get a toe on the ball. And then on the halfway line, Mike Notaro is swallowed up this time by the 19-year-old Dylan Lawler. On his first cap in Kazakhstan in September. Trusted again by Craig Bellamy. Interestingly, Chris Mepham not in the matchday squad as it breaks for Harris, who shoots, and I don't know if it was going in the corner or not. The keeper takes no chances, gets down low to his right hand side and tips it behind for a corner to Wales.
You just put pressure on this keeper. Doesn't look great.
I think it was going in the corner. He needed to make the save. He had Buchel. And again, 2 in the 6-yard box. And 4 all running around into the box. Keeper comes, punches, but again Nathan just drops me a glance. It wasn't convincing. Ampadu to put it back into the penalty area to test him once more. Hassler, the Liechtenstein captain, heads away. It's Thomas on the left, back in, straight into the face of the striker, Luca Natoro.
He didn't budge, he didn't flinch. Fair play to him.
Just sort of swatted it away like the ball, like it was a pesky fly or something. This is Jordan James, meantime, by the corner flag almost. Far left for Wales. Bit of smoke billowing into the air as plenty of fans go to the corner for a half-time drink. Wales want a goal before half-time. And it's a shot into the near post by Jordan James, and that was good goalkeeping. It bounced right in front of Buchel, got everything behind it and makes a good save.
Yeah, good play though. Jordan James positive from the right-hand side of the 18-yard box. Cuts inside, unleashes a low drive. As you say, first time Buchel holds one. Fair play to him.
The players are surrounded by this invasion of Wales supporters. We're surrounded by them as well. And more are just noticing that it's you next to me. I think you'll be taking some selfies at half time.
Yeah, I might be, Mark. Thanks to you standing up. And that big gold finger you keep pointing at me. Felt like I was in the national lottery.
Hey everyone, look who's over here.
Yes, I know. I'll get you back, don't you worry.
You can hear Danny Gabardon laughing in the background as well.
That water, Dan, I swear.
Come on, Mark, you're better than that, mate. Come on.
This is Thomas for Wales. Back to into the final minute of normal time, and his cross deflects off his own chest and behind for a goal kick. What do Wales need to do that they're currently not doing to find a way through?
Well, one, I think, like I said earlier, I think the tempo needs to be lifted. And I think the key to the game, Dan James and Silva on the wings. And I think too many times, not so much this side, but the left-hand side, I think De Silva's not opening his body out at all. The first touch is always back to Roden. Whereas sometimes I look and he's one-on-one, and sometimes Jordan James is over there for the overload as well. So, you know, yes, you want to keep your pattern of play and how you play and what have you, but, you know, don't be so predictable with it. You know, at least open your body and have a look before you turn back inside, because someone might be down injured, someone might be out of position, but they just need to move the ball a bit quicker for me and get it wide.
Well, the 45 minutes are up. They're late with the board for added time. There has to be some minutes because of the VAR delay. 3 minutes. He's in the rugby. Wales have scored. They are 5-0 up against Japan. Dan Edwards with the try. If you want to listen to that, it's Radio Wales Extra or 882 on medium wave or 5 Sports Extra 2. We'll be live there at half-time as Liechtenstein attempt to counter-attack, and Carl Dolowitz still playing. He clears it out of play, gets off his deck chair. He has had absolutely nothing to do. But Wales haven't been able to find a way through yet. Nathan Broadhead has scored. It was ruled out by VAR. And Liechtenstein have a throw in front of that main stand across from us where the tunnel and the changing rooms are. Down on this near side, you can see Pete Clenners, who's leading the team in the black tracksuit, with Craig Bellamy sat in the stands. Lawler clears for Wales. Another throw for the home team, and they'll be happy to just tick away these minutes of added time. And plenty are getting up and heading for the concourses and the kiosks for some refreshment. Liechtenstein are waiting for the big centre-half to come forward, and there's going to be a yellow card here for the captain, Hassler.
Time wasted.
He waited so long for the centre-half to make his way forward for this throw level with the edge of the penalty area. First yellow card of the game. And after all that, it's headed away by Jordan James right on the edge of the box. And that's a foul on Thomas. And by my watch, we're going to have 60 seconds left of added time. 0-0 in Vaduz. Even a draw wouldn't really change the equation too much. Wales would still finish second in Group J if they beat North Macedonia. The only scenario where a draw on Tuesday will do is if Wales win tonight by 6 clear goals. That will get them into second place, and with it a more favourable route to the World Cup next year via the playoffs. Liechtenstein trying to clear by their own corner flag under pressure from the Wales yellow shirts. They have managed to get it away. Salanovic, he and the other fellow striker Notaro have, to say they've been isolated is a bit of an understatement. Every blue and red shirt behind the ball. This is Lawler and Roda, balls in the centre circle. This is surely the final attack in the first half. Checker to watch from the referee, and he brings the first half to its conclusion. Boos from some Wales supporters, probably for the referee, I think, for ruling out that Nathan Broadhead goal via VAR. Wales have been on top as we expected, but they have not been able to find a way through. At half-time in Vaduz, it is Liechtenstein 0, Wales 0. Thank you, Chris. Welcome back once again to Vaduz, where Wales have emerged from the tunnel, which is on the opposite side to us in the yellow shirts. We have a completely dark sky now at the Rheinpark Stadion, right on the banks of the River Rhine, which is the border with Switzerland. We are still waiting for the officials and for Liechtenstein. And I mentioned in the first half that they have lost 33 of their last 34 qualifiers. The last team that failed to beat them in a European qualifier was Armenia 4 years ago in a 1-1 draw, September 2021. It doesn't look like there'll be any Wales changes for the start of the second half. They have been on top, but they haven't been able to break through. As it stands, they would go into that final match day against North Macedonia on Tuesday, knowing only a win would do to clinch second spot and a more favourable playoff draw. Here come Liechtenstein out of the tunnel once more in their blue shirts, red shorts and blue socks. Plenty of Wales fans back in their seats. If you weren't with us in the first half, this place has been taken over. It's been invaded by the red wall, the bucket hats and the flags. They've not had much to shout about yet. Only Nathan Broadhead's disallowed goal. The Liechtenstein coaches and substitutes make the slow walk across the pitch. They're not in any hurry, to say the least. And I think there's going to be a Liechtenstein change here as well. Mr. number 9 Ferhat Saglam, who's going to come on, and Denis Salanovic is the player who makes way. One of the strikers who had a really difficult first half. They were very much isolated, to say the least. So we're about ready to go. It's going to be Liechtenstein to restart the match. This time going from left to right. That's normally when I say they're going to kick towards a particular end, but both ends are packed with Wales supporters. 3 of the 4 small compact rectangle stands are full of Wales supporters. Will they be celebrating a victory? As Chris said at half-time, we started the day hoping for 6 goals. Just one will do at the moment.
We just need to get ourselves in front, Mark. I mean, the 6 goals, we know it's a stretch, right? We said before the game, it's doubtful it'll happen unless Wales can get 2 or 3 in the first half. But we just need to get that first goal, and it seems like they've come out a bit early, and they've probably been told just shift the ball a bit quicker, get crosses in the box, because like I said, first half, keeper, Bushell, well, if I was playing, I'd be looking to feed off him all the time. So he's been really, really dodgy with his handling.
So the Wales team then once more, it's a 4-4-2, Wales all in yellow with the green trim. It's Darlow in goal, Williams, Lawler, Roden and De Silva. Then it's James, Dan James, the player on the ball, Jordan James, Ampadu and Thomas. And Harris plays up front alongside Broadhead, who had that goal ruled out for VAR. I think it was Joe Roden who was ever so slightly offside. We've played 90 seconds of the second half. It's 0-0. And this is Roden once more. Those substitutes for Wales, should they want to change things up, and if it stays this way, surely they will. I'll just let Dan James cross first of all. It's easily played away by the minnows. The keepers then King and Davis, and it's Norrington, Davis, Brooks, Ruben Colwell, Kumas, Cullen, Johnson, Davis, Capaccio, Joel Colwell and Josh Sheehan. And this is Liechtenstein, the part-timers. They've got a handful of students in their team and engineers. Only a few of them are professional footballers. As it's clear downfield, there's only a handful of clubs to play for in this country, and they all play in the Swiss League. This is Dylan Lawler of Cardiff City. Roden in the centre circle.
Every time, just watching De Silva here, because I was interested to see at half-time, I was watching Sorba walking off, talking to De Silva, as if to say, give me the ball more often. And what we played up to 3 minutes, and De Silva's apologised twice already with his hand, just a little hand gesture out to Sorba, as if to say, yeah, sorry, I know you're there, and it's because he keeps taking his body shape was all wrong on his first touch. Sounds really, really innocuous, but it's a big thing. When the ball's rolling to him, if he just opens his body, steps around half a yard, he'd be up to feed Sorba 9 times out of 10. But he's not. He's choosing. He's closed. He's got his body position closed, and he's just going back to his centre half each time.
You might have heard a scowl while Nathan Blake was talking there. There was a ball forward. It was never going to be anywhere near Mark Harris. And Wales haven't yet got going at the start of this second half, which is 3.5 minutes old. It is goalless. You are listening to BBC Radio Wales. We're on FM, DAB, digital television, 5 Sports Extra and the BBC Sounds app on your smartphone or tablet. This time De Silva does find the braided hair of Sorba Thomas. We're back on the halfway line though with Lawler, Ampadu, out to Jordan James on the left. He comes in field. Ampadu, De Silva. Thomas is waiting for it on the touchline. It's short to Jordan James. He thought about a shot. Hassles it across to Williams. He checks his run and then plays a really ambitious ball. And Liechtenstein are frustrating Wales here.
Yeah, I think Nico got caught in 2 minds there. I think he went to give it wide, then changed his mind. Done the defender out, all ends up cut back inside, and then thought, shall I let one go on my left foot? No, I'll just try and slip Dan in. 2 or 3 different decisions in his head. Just put too much weight on the ball in the end, not concentrating on the pass.
Still 7-all in the rugby in Cardiff. Wales against Japan. 882 on medium wave to listen to that one, or 5 Sports Extra 2 or Radio Wales Extra. It's goalless in the penultimate World Cup qualifier in Group J. This is Jordan James on the edge of the penalty area, but the pass is cleared away. Too many bodies in blue and red, blocking Wales's path.
Yeah, I'd like to see him have a shot there.
And Williams has just put the fullback on his backside, crosses in, and it's cleared before it can reach Jordan James, and then the referee brings it back for the late tackle which was delivered after he crossed the ball. That's actually good refereeing from the Albanian officials. They're all in orange shirts this evening. So Wales are going to have a free kick over on the far right, 10 yards or so outside of the corner of that penalty area, as Nico Williams hobbles away. Thomas has come across to take it. And Wales could do with a breakthrough here. We're 6 minutes after the restart and it's pretty much picked up where it left off. Wales with all the possession and not much penetration, unfortunately.
Great position. You know, Sorba can put in a really good ball from here.
2 arms in the air from the Stoke City man. It's an outswinger. It is a good ball. It's headed into the sky. The keeper's coming and no one put him under pressure. So it's an easy catch in the end for Buchel. He's been in the mix of almost everything in that first half. It's his weak punch that brought about the disallowed goal from Broadhead. Harris is nowhere near that one as the two defenders head it one way than the next for Liechtenstein to clear. It's onto the chest of Saglam, the substitute. He's dispossessed by Thomas, but the loose ball drops to those in blue and red. And this is Luque Naturo. Rodin's going to gobble him up. Shoulder barges him to the floor.
Yeah, he's not going to get a free kick for that as much as he holds his head. That's just Rodin being physical.
But he goes out of play and it's a throw.
Shoulder to shoulder.
Shoulder. He bangs his head on the turf as he hits the floor. He's back on the field now, Naturo.
Yeah, he's okay.
But they have field position here, do Liechtenstein.
Well, this is going to sound crazy, Mark, but do you know what? They actually don't really have a plan when they're in attack positions, Liechtenstein. It's not a bad thing to let them try and attack to then, you know,
catch them out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're getting each other's way then inside Wales's half. Can they pounce forward then with people up the field? It's still being patient. Ampadu was delaying and he delayed too long and it's cleared. He's bringing Danny Gavidon, who's watching in the studio in Cardiff. What have you made of the first 8 minutes of the second half, Danny, with the score still at 0-0?
Yeah, very much as you said, Miles, kind of normal service resumed in terms of the flow of the game and us kind of controlling possession, but you know, we've got to show a little bit more kind of quality than this when we get into these areas here, as you see. I think Daniel James here.
Oh, it's a chance, and Broadhead couldn't stretch enough to tap it in at the back post. It's kept in, back into that penalty. It's the same thing's happened again. It's gone past everyone and cleared away.
Did Nate miss his header there?
I think he might have done, you know, the second time around. We will let Danny Gavidon finish his point in just a moment. Wales on the attack and the fans find their voice for the first time in the second half. Wales going from left to right in this second half. Wales fans behind both goals. Jordan James into the box. He is out-muscled by two defenders and the referee has stopped the game for what exactly here, I'm not so sure. I think the ball... He's picked the ball up. We're restarting with a drop ball.
Yeah.
Well, that's caught me out, I have to say.
Me and you both.
Wales are back in possession and everyone around us looks as mystified as we are. In it goes, and it's cleared behind for a Wales corner. Danny Gavidon, back to you.
Yeah, but again, as I say, there another cross going in there, Matt. And again, you know, we've got 5 runners in there, but you know, I know Liechtenstein are playing with a back 5, and at the minute they're getting a lot of the first contact, so you know, either the delivery's got to be better when it goes in or the runs have got to be better. For the amount of kind of runners that we've got going in there, you'd expect more kind of chances created. Obviously an opportunity for us here from the corner.
It's curled in by De Silva, outswinger, straight onto the head of one of those defenders. It was Andreas Mann. And this is Nico Williams in the centre circle. It's still goalless in Vaduz. We've played 10 minutes of the second half. Wales cannot find a way through yet. Even if it stays this way, it's still in their hands. They'll just have to win on Tuesday. This is De Silva. Thomas shuffles past one and cuts inside. De Silva's now into the penalty area. He rolls it underneath his foot. Eventually comes out to Thomas, who has a chance to cross. It's a really good one. How's that stayed out? I think it's hit the post or the feet, the goalkeeper. What a ball by Sorba Thomas, and the closest Wales have come, Nathan.
Yeah, Danny's just called it. Better quality, beautiful ball in that. Absolutely wonderful. And like you, Mark, we're so far away from it, trying to see if there's a replay. Yeah, here it comes. It's a beautiful ball in. Everybody's onside. And it's Dan James
He
just
hits
for
the
the
post.
Yeah.
Right at the base of that left-hand post. Dan James returning to the team, and that's increased the noise a little bit from the Wales fans who are behind both goals and in front of us in this small, quaint little stadium. And another Wales throw. They're starting to get on top now in the second half. It's over on the far right side. There's one or two Wales players are warming up in the corner in these new training kit that they've got, red with white trim and then orange flashes. This is De Silva midway in the Liechtenstein half. Over on this near left, plays it to Sorba Thomas, but it breaks for Liechtenstein, and Luque Naturo is just engulfed by three yellow Wales shirts. And this is Roden, and now Ampadu. We didn't think Wales would still be waiting for the breakthrough as we tick towards the hour mark, but that is reality. Craig Bellamy was at pains to point that out yesterday. Can't get ahead of yourselves. Think about tomorrow first, he said. This is De Silva as Wales continue to look for a way through to try and thread the eye of the needle. Jordan James with a cross. It's a good one towards the back post. Headers across goal. And it's Nico Williams who puts it wide. Not sure if he was going for goal or trying to help it across goal.
It should have been going for goal, Mark. It's a beautiful ball in again from this left-hand side, right foot. It's Jordan James this time. And he's what? He's only 4 yards out. I think he's trying to hit the target.
He's not far away, is he?
Yeah, and it's just come off the wrong part of his head.
The loudest tannoy in the world, trying to drown Nathan out. The attendance is 5,563. And we think about 3,000 of those are from Wales. This is Broadhead to the edge of the penalty area, trying to tiptoe his way through. Williams, who's just put the header wide, now has the ball at his feet. Now squirts out to Jordan James on this left side. Sorba Thomas trying to kid the defenders, the captain Hassler. He's curled it in looking for Dan James, who gets his head to it. He couldn't quite get enough on it. It drops behind for a Liechtenstein goal kick. At what point do you look to your bench, Nathan and Danny?
I think in the next maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and I think the player you're going to look to come on and unlock the defence. You've got the perfect player in Colwell.
He is warming up alongside David Brooks in the corner to our left. You were saying before the game, Ruben's got to wait for his opportunity and take it. Maybe this is it. We don't know. No sign yet from Pete Kramers in the dark tracksuit, the arms folded, the dark hair, leading Wales while Craig Bellamy is sat in the stands across from us. Bellamy will be back snarling on the touchline on Tuesday as Wales try and work it through, but they only reach the goalkeeper Bushell. Brooks and Ruben Colwell continue their warm-up. Is this made for Ruben Colwell, do you think, Danny?
I don't see why not. You know, Liechtenstein have offered nothing really in terms of attacking. You know, they just sat there in that shape. I think you can see they're starting to tire a little bit now, having a little bit more joy. Spaces are opening up a little bit more, but you think he would thrive in this situation. Obviously, that set-piece kind of threat that he has as well. So he's certainly an option. The likes of obviously David Brooks, Brennan Johnson, the quality they have as well, very good options. So the 60 minutes gone, you'd have to think that Craig Bellamy is maybe starting to look towards the options from the bench and maybe making some changes.
This is Williams on the edge of the penalty area. That every blue shirt behind the ball, but he's picked out Dan James in the box. It's a crack to make the goal, and now they've scored. Jordan James runs across, the flag stays down, and at last on the hour, Wales break through. Jordan James Wales' first goal for his country finally breaks the Liechtenstein resistance. 1-0 to Wales.
Yeah, that's what we've been saying, Mark. Ball out wide, beat your defender. This time it's a lovely little ball in behind. Dan James straight across the box. And we spoke about the runners from midfield getting into the box. George James times his run well. It's a lovely little ball inside the defender from Nico Williams. And Dan James, one touch, across the box. And Jordan James there to just tap it in from 4 yards. Really well worked goal for Wales. I just hope now the tiredness Danny was just speaking about will really kick in and these Welsh players can go and get a second and a third goal.
And his dad Tony is about 3 rows in front of us. He has the widest smile you could wish to see, and his mum's there as well. Wales lead 1-0. Jordan James from all of 3 yards.
He'd be telling his kids he was 30.
His dad's already messaged his friends.
Yeah.
From the halfway line.
The Rasper just outside the 18-yard box.
Well, this is Haslett. And Jordan James brings him down. And here comes the yellow card. Having just scored, he's now cautioned. And that means that Jordan James will be suspended for that match with North Macedonia on Tuesday, live on BBC Radio Wales in Cardiff. From 0-0 in a match of
funny old game, isn't it, son? Wow. Yeah. And you'll be thinking about that now, thinking in the moment you'll just, bad tackle, okay. And now you'll be thinking, oh no, the big one, I'm going to miss it.
It was from behind. It was the clearest yellow card you could wish to see. Hassler's having treatment. Danny Gabardon's watching in Cardiff as Ruben Colwell and David Brooks are about to come on. Danny.
Yeah, looks like, I think it's going to be a triple sub actually for Wales. Can't see who the third player is, but look, so important to get the goal. And as I was saying, I think you could see that Liechtenstein's starting to tire, and we finally get the action kind of correct. We get in behind, we got the runners in the box, the delivery across the box is perfect, and Jordan's dad was actually a tough, no-nonsense kind of centre-half. I think even he would have tapped that in on the far post there. But
I don't know about that. Centre-half trying to get goals. You shimmed that one over the bar.
Yeah, maybe.
The play has restarted. I think his dad would have been more proud with the rasping tackle from behind.
Yeah, that was more his dad.
Then it goes into the Wales penalty area. Actually, while we're talking, Roden heads away. Lewis Kumas is the other player about to come on for Wales, but the men all in yellow lead by 1-0. 64 minutes gone in Vaduz. And the ball's on the halfway line with Liechtenstein in these blue shirts, red shorts and blue socks. As David Brooks is being serenaded by the bucket hat sat in front of us. And there's the ball out of play. Another Liechtenstein player down. Here come the Wales changes. So it's going to be Ruben Colwell coming on for Nathan Broadhead. This is going to be Ruben Colwell's first cap since Craig Bellamy became manager. Number 8 on his back for the Cardiff City player. Lewis Kumas replaces Mark Harris. And the final change is David Brooks, and it's Dan James. And Wales lead by 1-0. And there's going to be a substitution for Liechtenstein as well. So while that's being made, Nathan Blake, what do you make of the changes for Wales?
Yeah, I mean, they were always coming, we knew that. It's just a matter of when. And really positive from Wales. I just hope they can go in and get a few more goals now.
Liechtenstein are just bringing on the 19-year-old Jonas Weissenhofer. What a fantastic name that is. Wales lead by 1-0 here on BBC Radio Wales, on FM and DAB, 5 Sports Extra, and the BBC Sounds app. It's still 7-0 in the rugby in Cardiff. That's on Radio Wales Extra 882 and 5 Sports Extra 2 on this Super Saturday here. We are on air until 9 o'clock when Bethan Elvin takes over. More live sport coming your way on Tuesday. The North Macedonia showdown is not going to be one to miss. We're on air from 7 as Liechtenstein give it away on the edge of their penalty area. It's cleared before it reaches Ruben Colwill. Next Saturday, club football returns. We've got Bristol City, Swansea, Ipswich, Wrexham, Northampton, Cardiff, and Newport County begin life after David Hughes away at Oldham. If you haven't heard the news, he has left the club after their 1-0 defeat to Shrewsbury earlier today. You can listen to that interview on our club feed on BBC Sounds. Download that to your smartphone or tablet and search for your club, and you'll hear all our pre and post match content. And if you set alerts on your settings, you'll get a notification whenever an interview is uploaded. Here in Vaduz, 22 and a half minutes left. Wales lead by 1-0. There's a yellow card. I was giving you all that information for Luque Notaro, and this is David Brooks straight into the action to James, and now Thomas. Not a great ball by Ampadu, but it's recovered by Roden. On the left, looking for the goal scorer Jordan James. Checks back to Thomas, and now they can be a bit more deliberate with that goal lead. It's half time now in the rugby in Cardiff. Wales 7, Japan 7. Here in the football it's 1-0. This is Thomas again on the left, hugging this touchline. Not a great ball, and cleared. And that's not a great pass by Jay De Silva, rather thrashed at it. Already today in Wales's group, Kazakhstan drew 1-1 with Belgium. In Astana they were 1-0 up for a long spell. One Belgian win in their final match at home to Liechtenstein will be enough to clinch top spot, and only the group winners qualify automatically.
Made hard work of them, Belgium, from their position.
It means North Macedonia and Wales could mathematically still top the group. That would surely be an improbability. This is Ruben Colwill for Wales, who runs straight into traffic. Ampadu, the captain, takes over. Brooks driving towards the corner flag, and then just drives into the blue shirts, and it's cleared downfield. Wales lead by 1-0. The breakthrough finally coming just on the hour mark. Dan James playing it across the face of the penalty area. Jordan James lashed it in from a couple of yards out, and then moments later was cautioned for a tackle from behind, and that's his second yellow card. He will be suspended for that match with North Macedonia on Tuesday. Wales leading by 1-0. Nathan Blake, 20 minutes left. Can they get more?
I mean, yeah, they've got the players on the pitch to do so, and the tempo has sped up now. They've got players on the pitch who can open doors, as in Ruben Colwill. And for the goal, Nico Williams played a lovely little pass for Dan James. So you've got a bit of everything on the pitch at the moment. Pace, power. Players are going to unlock a defence, so let's hope they can get the second and the third.
Final 20 minutes, Liechtenstein 0, Wales 1. This is Colwill, and that's a fine save by the keeper. Low down to his left, he went for the near post, did Colwill. It's a Wales corner. And that would have been Ruben Colwill seizing his chance had that one gone in. One substitute won the corner, another will take it. David Brooks, the number 7. Wales kicking towards the left. Some of those fans behind the goal have got their shirts off, they're twirling them above their heads. Wales away, there's nothing like it. In it comes the corner, header clear by Liechtenstein. Nico Williams is encouraged to shoot and obliges. It takes a couple of deflections and trickles through to the goalkeeper, who's taking his time in picking it up. This will actually be their best result if it stays this way, 1-0. Liechtenstein, the only team in European qualifying who haven't scored a goal. We've lost every single game.
It's because, like I said earlier, Mark, they don't know actually how to attack. They know how to defend, and they know how to get 10 men behind the ball, stay in a good shape, frustrate. As soon as they get near the halfway line, they haven't got a clue what they're doing.
206th is actually their lowest ever FIFA ranking. As I said in the first half, only 4 nations are ranked below them, and they're the only country to have lost a competitive game to San Marino. Wales have found it hard going, but they're winning. As Brooks runs into traffic, he's actually able to retrieve the ball, clip it into the penalty area. Keeper comes again and fumbles, but Liechtenstein hack it clear. And De Silva with that high back pass back to Darlow. Another Liechtenstein change coming. William Pizzi is coming on. 17 minutes left on the watch here on BBC Radio Wales. Here is the goal scorer Jordan James to Thomas, teasing the captain Hassler back to James, encouraged to shoot. And it's hacked away. There's a Liechtenstein player down injured.
I mean, I don't know what Liechtenstein, I'm not sure which player it is.
It's Luque Naturo.
No, I mean, number 8 was complaining to Jordan James for not kicking the ball out. I'm like, why would you expect your opponent to knock the ball out of play there? It's not a tackle, it's probably a muscle injury if he's injured at all. He's never going to kick the ball out of play there.
Well, they put up the board. Luque Naturo is going to come off, but the physios have got to help him off first. And Pizzi is coming on. So that's Nathan Blake alongside me in Vaduz. Danny Gabbard on his back in Cardiff. Barring something miraculous, Danny, in the last 17 minutes, we're not going to get the magic 6. So it's all set up for a grandstand night in Cardiff on Tuesday.
Yeah, it certainly is. But I'll just take the win, to be honest with you boys. But I think the goal just showed the importance of being patient, as I spoke about, and sticking to the game plan. Because I think part of the reason you try and kind of control possession, dominate possession, is knowing that the opposition will kind of tire, and those openings will kind of present themselves, and that's what you saw with the goal. You saw the wing back for Liechtenstein kind of switch off, that running behind from Daniel James, and then it's all about the right decision making, getting bodies into the box and showing that bit of quality, which we did with the goal. So hopefully we can go on and get a couple more here.
Brooks almost did while you were speaking. He danced through a couple of tackles and went for one too many on the edge of the penalty area. 1-0 they lead. And of course on Tuesday they will have Harry Wilson back after suspension. Here is Hassler, the number 18, the captain for Liechtenstein, who get into Wales' half. It's been a rarity tonight here on the banks of the River Rhine. And every yellow Wales shirt is behind the ball. Now, Wales, remember, had lost 3 in a row before tonight. And they get right to the byline, and they've won a corner, Liechtenstein, their first of the game. 15 minutes to go. And I daren't say, will there be a sting in the tail? But I just have. Don't look at me like that, mate. That's the glare. There's a scrum of bodies on the penalty spot. Blue and red muscling to try and get their position. It's sliced behind by Ruben Colville, who tried to clear it, went the other way. So we get take 2 from the far left. In front of that little patch of Wales fans in the stand across from us. Every other stand is a sea of red. Liam Cullen about to come on for Wales. In comes the corner. There was a free header at 6 yards out, and he got under it, and it's miles over the crossbar. And now here comes the Wales change. Jordan James, who at the moment is the match winner, is departing. Liam Cullen coming on for the final 13 and a half minutes. He'll be suspended for Tuesday, but he'll remember tonight his first international goal for Wales, and the only goal so far in Vaduz as the rain arrives. Jordan James departs and Wales still lead by a 1-0.
Yeah, he's in the record books, Mark. Simple as that. Always a great feeling getting your first international goal.
And we now have a little over 12 to play. There's another Liechtenstein player down on the floor, and it was the one who was complaining about Wales not kicking it out, the number 8. It's not a head injury, so play continues.
I mean, he's actually looking at the ball in play while he's on the floor, seeing if the players are going to kick it out.
Look. They don't have to. Oh, look, he's made it. He's back up on his feet, and he runs freely. And he's being told some not very nice things by the Wales fans who are sat in front of us. Let's leave it at that, shall we? That's Cullen. Nice reverse pass. Thomas almost gets onto it. Hassler was back, and then he sold the goalkeeper really short, and he's gone down rolling around. And Kumas is going to be cautioned. And I think he's bought one there. Our friend in goal, Benjamin Bouchel. The tiniest of clips from Wales's number 9. I can hear the groans from the Cardiff studio from here, Danny.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Bouchel kicks his leg, didn't he?
It looked like he left his foot there, didn't it? Yeah.
He doesn't really do anything. Kicks the ball away, and he kind of kicks through and almost catches Lewis Kumas there, so very harsh to get a yellow for that. He's been entertaining Bouchel, hasn't he, boys, this evening?
Yeah, he has.
What is it about the Minnow Nations and having goalkeepers who are characters, to say the least? Wales still lead by 1-0. 11 minutes to play. The changes are being made as the rain starts to fall in Vaduz. Liechtenstein actually had half a chance from a corner, free header 6 yards out. Of its miles over the crossbar. Wales are comfortable. They're not going to get to the magic 6. So it's all going to be set for North Macedonia on Tuesday. About to enter the final 10 minutes. It's Liechtenstein 0, Wales 1. And so many times the game is just, you think it's going to burst into life, and then Wales slow it down and are methodical and patient. They've got the goal. That is all that matters. And they will need to win in Cardiff on Tuesday. As it goes out of play for a throw. And that's the Liechtenstein manager's turn to say we need to hurry the ball up. He gets ready to make 2 more changes. And from the lovely sunshine, it's going to be a wet walk home for some of these Wales supporters. They were twirling their yellow and red shirts above their heads. De Silva for Wales. We look for the cushion of a second goal. They'll get a throw. And the player who was down injured, Aaron Sell, is coming off. As is Alessio Hassler, Sandro Wolfinger, and Severin Shagel, who are coming on for the Minnows. And we're waiting to restart. The ball is in the hands of Jay De Silva, who has a throw on this near left, almost towards the edge of the penalty area, as Wales sing their Euro 2016 anthem. Might there be another tournament for them to enjoy next summer? There's still a lot of work to do before they can think about going to the World Cup in North America. That playoff draw, by the way, is Thursday next week. We know Wales will be in it. We don't know yet what pot it will be. If they finish third, it will be pot 4. If they finish second, it could either be pot 1 or pot 2. Here comes Brennan Johnson for Wales. For the final 8 minutes, Sorba Thomas departs. And a man who's had a difficult season so far, as he looks to regain his best form. Brennan Johnson is coming on for Wales, the number 11, as we look for a second goal, just to make things a little bit more relaxing in these closing stages.
The Welsh fans are enjoying themselves.
They're having a great time, aren't they?
Especially since the rain started. It's like being back home, Monmouth.
Well, there's been some horrendous weather back home. We have seen none of it out here. It's been lovely, dry, mild. The rain is sort of swirling around now. I mentioned that wind in the first half.
In the local town, Abergavenny, underwater. The pictures I've seen, been a nightmare.
Wales attack with Brooks. This is Cullen, they're going backwards. And we have 7 minutes to go. This is Williams. We'll bring you all the reaction we possibly can. Now before we go off air here on BBC Radio Wales at 9 o'clock tonight. And then you can start the build-up to that North Macedonia game with Radio Wales Breakfast on Monday. From 7 o'clock, Dot Davis and James Williams. The rain is getting heavier by the minute. You still see that castle on the hill illuminated. And this is a Wales free kick as more and more supporters decide to dispense with their shirt for the closing stages. Both ends behind the goals. Brooks, having won the free kick, will take it. And everyone in yellow is pretty much forward for this. Brooks curls it in, the keeper gets nowhere near it.
Wow.
That's the worst one yet, and he's really lucky that it goes all the way through. Doesn't touch anyone. Well, and it goes out of play for a Liechtenstein throw on the opposite side.
He was like pointing his hand like he was like...
like his fingertip.
Yeah, like he was like testing the air or something. Is it windy or... I'm not sure what he was doing there.
Air traffic controller, boys.
Oh.
He's definitely been the standout player, hasn't he? From a Liechtenstein point of view. He's kept us entertained, that's for sure. About to enter the final 5 minutes as Nico Williams is sent sprawling across the ever wet turf now. The rain cascading down from the giant snow-covered mountains that are around us, which are now completely engulfed by the darkness. Brennan Johnson takes the free kick short from the far right. This is De Silva just outside the centre circle. They're underway in the second half at the Principality Stadium as the ball goes out for a Liechtenstein throw. You can listen to Wales 7, Japan 7 on Radio Wales Extra, or 882 on medium wave, or 5 Sports Extra 2. New Zealand next Saturday. Gulp. And the build-up to that will start with Scrum 5, the warm-up on Thursday, 7 o'clock on BBC Two Wales. That's another foul, and that's a yellow card for Ethan Ampadu, and that is another player who will now miss North Macedonia on Tuesday.
I was going to say 10 minutes ago, you take him off now. He'd be one of the players I take off because the game is won, but that is a blow.
That's a problem, boys.
That's a
Jordan
problem.
James and Ethan Ampadu. No need there either, is there?
He wins the ball, but it's a high foot.
Good showing. Does win the ball.
So is a yellow card, did it, Dan?
Yeah, it's harsh, but it is something you see a lot more, isn't it, boys? Kind of like international level, that kind of thing's just being penalised a lot more harshly than maybe what you would see kind of domestically at club level. So a little bit harsh, but no real need to kind of do that.
It's always punished that, Dan, even in my day. Studs up, players used to pretend to be, kicking the ball and roll over. Just weren't allowed. It took us about 3 or 4 years to get an understanding that regardless of how you go in, if you go in stud showing, the referee will blow up.
It's kind of a difficult thing not to do, though, I think, Blake. When the ball's bouncing like that and you want to go and win the ball, it's almost like a natural thing. Yeah, there's no other way.
Yeah. Can't twist your foot upside down.
Well, they went into the game, Wales in possession in the centre circle, with 6 players on a yellow card, and Ampadu and Jordan James will be missing from that midfield engine room for that huge game on Tuesday. 2.5 minutes to go. He'd almost got through the night unscathed as well. That's the annoying part. This is Brooks scampering past one. On a great pass into Kumas, so it's easily cleared by Liechtenstein. It's won back by De Silva. This is Brooks bringing it down again. The rain continues to swirl around on the banks of the River Rhine, and Wales will get a throw. Craig Bellamy being suspended means we can't hear from him after the game. All the post-match media duties will be undertaken by Pete Kremers. And those yellow cards, I'm sure, will be a topic of conversation. This is Cullen for Wales. Cross towards the back post, takes a touch. Brennan Johnson has to go backwards towards the corner flag. He'll let it run out for a Wales throw. More and more shirts are being removed behind that goal away to our left as the rain gets heavier. This is Kumas turning in the penalty area, never really got enough room for a shot, and then it takes a deflection. That's a comfortable save for Bushell. Bit reminiscent of Wembley, the way it starts with a small pocket of them all waving their shirts and it grows around the stadium.
Yeah, we've seen it so many times with the Welsh fans. Regardless, they're going to have a good time. I can't say I blame them. See their team win again, okay, not the amount of goals they would have liked to see, but as we said at the start of the programme, first and foremost, get the 3 points, get the win. Not quite there yet, but it's looking likely, shall we say.
1-0 their lead. Cullen, Kumas drops his shoulder, and this is a great chance for Wales, and he's blazed it wide, and he puts his head into his shirt. He was nowhere near, did all the hard work, and then the finish really let him down.
Yeah, he knows. There's nothing myself or Danny are going to say about that. In the first instance, you just give credit for that beautiful turn. What I was saying about De Silva earlier, that's exactly it, opening your body away from the defender.
Cullen wins it back. Colwell with a fine pass to find the galloping Williams. Cross into the box is too high for Kumas. We are now into 4 minutes of added time with Wales 1-0 ahead. Colwell, corner of the penalty area. Williams curls in the cross, too high for Cullen. And the defender is able to bring it down. Not a great clearance. And then there's a shove in the back by De Silva, and there's groans and scowls from everyone in the stadium.
I'm not being biased, I'm not sure that was a shove. You can always tell when the players sprawled out like that, hoping he could hear the whistle. I don't think he was even in line with the ball, to be honest with you.
A shrug of the shoulders from Pete Kremers down on this near touchline where the dugouts are. We have yet to see a picture of Craig Bellamy on the monitor, so we don't know where exactly he is watching the game from. It's cleared by the goalkeeper from the free kick. 1 minute of the 4 to be added has gone. Liechtenstein on the attack. Far left side edge of the penalty area. It's curled into the box towards the back post. There's a chance, and it's blazed over the bar on the volley. Wolfinger it was. You saw him arrive late, and for a split second your heart was in your mouth. It's over the crossbar, thank goodness.
Well, he should have gone with a side foot. He's trying to go with an absolute worldie and lace it, and his technique is just not good enough. Timing's all wrong, doesn't let the ball drop far enough. If he approaches out with a side foot, as long as he hits the target, 9 times out of 10 he's going to score there. It's a real chance.
That would have been a calamitous way to end the game. Wales thankfully still lead. Although ironically it wouldn't have actually changed the equation as far as Group J is concerned, as there's a foul given against Liechtenstein on Nico Williams. A draw, it still would mean that Wales would have to beat North Macedonia on Tuesday to clinch second spot and a more favourable playoff draw. It means though if they finish second they would be at home in Cardiff for the semi-final. Japan lead the rugby in Cardiff. A penalty puts them 10-7 up. And Wales are down to 14 men, I'm told. A yellow card. 20-minute red card, in fact, I've been told. Now, Radio Wales Extra, if you want to listen to that, we'll be joining that at the conclusion of this. As two players collide. One is David Brooks, and the decision goes Wales' way. And we played 3 minutes of the 4 to be added. Remember, already today Shrewsbury have beaten Newport County, who have then parted company with the manager David Hughes after the game. England have beaten the All Blacks at Twickenham 33-19. And Wales are surely about to collect 3 points thanks to Jordan James's first goal for his country. He has since departed. And the final seconds now as Brooks chases one last chance on this left channel, but Liechtenstein will clear and get the throw. Take it, this is going to be the last chance. Checker the watch from the referee, almost put his whistle to his lips. We're now into a 5th minute, and there is the final whistle. It wasn't vintage stuff, but it is a win, and it sets up a big night in Cardiff on Tuesday against North Macedonia. Wales have to win to finish second in Group J and earn a home playoff semi-final and a favourable draw. And what is absolutely certain is they will have to be better under the lights in Cardiff on Tuesday. They toiled in Vaduz, but Jordan James gets the goal. The only down part, he and Ethan Ampadu picking up yellow cards, which means they will be suspended for that final group match. It finishes here in Vaduz. Liechtenstein 0, Wales 1.